Imagine a world dominated by a single superpower, an empire that has stood for centuries, its legions considered invincible. This was the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire, in the 7th century. It was a behemoth of military might, wealth, and culture. Yet, in just 6 days, this giant would be brought to its knees in a battle that would redraw the map of the world forever. This is the story of the Battle of Yarmouk, a clash of civilizations that marked the end of Roman dominance in the East and the spectacular rise of a new power. Before we dive into the dusty plains of Yarmouk, let's set the stage. The Byzantine Empire was the direct successor to the Roman Empire, controlling vast territories from the Balkans to Egypt. Its army was the most professional, well-equipped, and disciplined fighting force of its time. They had just concluded a grueling, decades-long war with their arch-rival, the Sassanid Persian Empire. Although victorious, the Byzantines were exhausted, their treasury depleted, and their troops weary. Into this landscape of imperial fatigue rode a new dynamic force from the deserts of Arabia, united by faith and a burning desire for expansion: the Rashidun Caliphate. The early Muslim armies had already made significant inroads into Byzantine territory, taking cities like Damascus. The Byzantine Emperor Heraclius, a brilliant general in his own right, knew he couldn't let this stand. He gathered a massive multi-ethnic army, a force so large that observers said the ground trembled as it marched. Estimates vary, but it's believed the Roman force numbered over 100,000 soldiers, possibly many more. It was a coalition of Greeks, Slavs, Franks, Georgians, and Christian Arabs, all united under the imperial banner to crush the nascent Islamic State once and for all. Their commander was Vahan, an Armenian general of great experience. They were confident, perhaps even overconfident. They were the Roman Empire, and this was just another barbarian horde to be disciplined. They were wrong. Facing this imperial juggernaut was a much smaller Muslim army, numbering around 40,000. They were outnumbered, out-equipped, and facing the world's premier military machine. But they had an ace up their sleeve, a military genius whose name would echo through history: Khalid ibn al-Walid, the Sword of God. Khalid was a master strategist and tactician. He had never lost a battle in his life. When he was given supreme command of the Muslim forces in Syria, he immediately understood the gravity of the situation. He knew that facing the Romans in a series of smaller engagements would be suicidal. His only chance was to concentrate all his forces and force a single, decisive battle on ground of his own choosing. Khalid's choice of battlefield was a stroke of genius. The Yarmouk River Valley was a triangular plain bordered by deep ravines on 2 sides and a river on the 3rd. This terrain naturally protected his flanks, preventing the larger Roman army from using its numbers to encircle his forces. It also limited the Romans' room to maneuver their complex formations. Furthermore, the harsh desert winds, which the Arabs were accustomed to, would blow dust into the faces of the Byzantines, who were used to the milder climates of Anatolia and the Balkans. Khalid had turned the landscape itself into a weapon. As the two armies faced each other in August of 636, the air crackled with tension. For 5 days, the battle raged. The Roman army was a complex machine, composed of a heavy infantry center and powerful cavalry wings. Their plan was to use their superior numbers to smash through the Muslim lines. On the first day, they launched a massive assault, and for a moment, it looked like they would succeed. The Muslim left flank, battered by the sheer weight of the Roman attack, began to buckle. But this is where Muslim discipline and Khalid's brilliance shone. While the Roman army was a collection of different peoples with varying loyalties, the Muslim army was a unified, highly motivated force. They were fighting for a cause they deeply believed in. Heroic moments defined these crucial hours. As the lines wavered, commanders rallied their men. Wives and sisters of the soldiers stood behind the lines, urging them forward, shaming any who thought of retreat. Khalid, ever present, seemed to be everywhere at once. He led his elite mobile guard, a cavalry reserve he kept for just such emergencies, in a series of lightning-fast counterattacks. He would plug a gap here, smash a Roman cavalry charge there, constantly moving, thinking, and adapting. His personal bravery was legendary, riding into the thickest of the fighting to inspire his men. The turning point came on the 6th and final day. A thick dust storm, a sirocco, blew up from the south in the morning. For the Arabs, it was an inconvenience. For the Romans, it was blinding. They couldn't see, their formations fell into disarray, and communication broke down. Khalid seized the opportunity. He had noticed a critical weakness in the Roman plan. The cavalry and infantry were not coordinating well. He ordered a full-scale assault. His cavalry, led by the indomitable Khalid himself, executed a masterful flanking maneuver. They didn't just attack the Roman cavalry, they smashed through them, rode around the entire Roman army, and captured a crucial bridge over the river, the Romans' only escape route. What followed was not a battle, it was a slaughter. The Roman army, blinded by dust, their retreat cut off, and their command structure shattered, completely collapsed. Trapped against the steep ravines of the Yarmouk Valley, thousands were pushed to their deaths. The invincible Roman legions were broken. The commander Vahan was killed in the chaos. When the dust finally settled, the once mighty Byzantine army of the East had ceased to exist. Emperor Heraclius, upon hearing the news of the catastrophic defeat, is said to have uttered a farewell to Syria. Farewell, a long farewell to Syria, my fair province. Thou art an infidel's now. Peace be with you, O Syrio, what a beautiful land you will be for the enemy. The consequences of the Battle of Yarmouk were immediate and profound. With its main army destroyed, Byzantine control over Syria, Palestine, and Egypt crumbled. The gates to the heartland of the ancient world were thrown wide open for the Muslim armies. Within a few years, Jerusalem, Antioch, and Alexandria would all fall. The Roman Empire, which had controlled this region for over 700 years since the time of Pompey the Great, was permanently expelled from the Levant. The balance of power in the world had shifted irrevocably. Looking back, the Battle of Yarmouk is a masterclass in military strategy and leadership. It demonstrates that superior numbers and equipment can be overcome by brilliant leadership, superior motivation, disciplined troops, and the clever use of terrain. Khalid ibn al-Walid leads strategy of concentration of force, his use of a mobile reserve, and his ability to exploit enemy weaknesses and unexpected opportunities are still studied in military academies today. It was a victory of mind over matter, of strategy over brute force. The fall of the Roman Empire in the East wasn't just about the loss of territory. It was the end of an era and the dawn of a new one, all decided in 6 dusty, bloody days along the Yarmouk River. Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of history as fascinating as I do, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the battles that shaped our world. See you next time.